Hello, hello. What is up, everybody? Hello, random. How are you today? Thank you. We have a kitty. And I forgot to open the game. Let's do that right quick. Hi. Having a good day in all honesty. Hope the same goes for you. I just woke up, so we will see. I woke up at 5:56, so about 9 minutes ago, or 11 minutes ago, I should say. Oops, I do not have the sound going through the right speakers. Please do the thing, please. Okay, we're just being stubborn. There we go. Okay. And now, so that I can hear it, put these on. Now, if we're talking about yesterday was wild at work. So like me waking up for work every day? Yeah, pretty much. It's like I woke up and immediately left for work. That's pretty much it. Also, what's up, Dante? How you doing, my dude? So Random, you're relatively new here, so you probably don't know. I actually work overnights. So it is currently 6:08 p.m. This is the beginning of my day. Once I finish here, I have about an hour between when I stop stream and when I go into work. And then I work from 10 p.m. until 7 a.m. And I stock shelves at Walmart. I'm a Walmart. Off work, loving it. Hell yeah. And I stock the cheese shelves. I am in charge of stocking the cheese, butter, biscuit, cinnamon roll, all the doughs, all the refrigerated dough stuff. That's all my wall. That's what I am in charge of. Now, normally the night shifts though, I've always been a night person to begin with, and we get paid more for working overnights. There's a overnight differential of like $1.50 an hour, something like that. It's like $1 an hour, $1.50 an hour. So I get paid more money than the people that work on the days, so I can laugh at them. So for reference, normally when we go in, we have to down stack. And by down stack, I mean like the pallets that come in, they're all mixed. Like you'll have like the lunch meat in with the cheese, in with the yogurt, in with like the orange juice and creamer, like coffee creamer and stuff like that. It's all mixed together and we have to separate them out. We call that down stacking. Normally, when we go in, we have about 6 to 7 pallets to down stack. 8 pallets is a lot. Like 8 pallets is a heavy night, right? 6 to 7 is normal. Last night we had 19 pallets. We had twice the number of people to work, roughly 3 times the freight. And so we had more people than normal, but we only had twice the number of people that we had normally for 3 times the amount of freight that we have normally. And none of those people had really ever been in the area. So they were working at like half or less of the speed of a normal person who works over there. Like, Last night was a nightmare. Last night was a fucking nightmare. All I gotta say, I picked a bad... So, the funny thing is, I did not actually go into work the night before. I woke up, I had a pretty nasty migraine Thursday. So, I took the whole day off. Like, I normally don't stream on Thursdays anyway, but I definitely did not... I didn't even go into work Thursday this week because of my migraine. Apparently, they only had 5 pallets Thursday to downstack. So, I picked the wrong fucking day to get a migraine this week. I'll tell you that much. But anyway, let's get to the video game. All right, Vox Spirits, anything new? No new information. All right, that's great. Do you have anything to say? No. All right. Cassia, do you have anything to say?
Words cannot describe how boring the bridge is without our stimulating.
Oh yeah, she says okay.
She is like a gem. The brighter people shine around her, the clearer her faces reflect a myriad of colorful gleams. They are all parts of Jai, but no single one of them is her.
Fuck.
I cannot discern her true colors through the veil of her motley shawls. I peel off hue after hue, only to find a different color underneath every time.
Huh. She's like Karama from fucking Yu Yu Hakusho. All right, so well, we got the first of the kick view botting spams of the day. Let's see when the next one comes through. No, I'm not kicking her out of the party. Yeah, shut up. I have enjoyed your company. Yeah. All right, so now so I guess the like normal people in here. Oh, yeah, Argenta. This is actually important because she actually has a conversation for me.
Yes.
Hello! What's up, Ricardo? How you doing?
Only one thing of you, rogue trader. If I may, I would like to see the chamber of the sacred warrant and kneel before the relic.
What are you doing? We're leaving Footfall. We left Footfall.
A difficult conversation lies ahead of us, and I wish to pray by the relic before I lay my soul bare.
We just left Footfall. I'm clearing up conversations with the crew before we determine what the hell to do next. Valerie 2.0 companion quest. I like Argenta a lot more than I like Valerie. I'll be honest. Valerie was just kind of a stuck-up bitch. As a lactose would be signature of the warrant, a seemingly mundane thing, merely a flourish on a piece of paper, unless one knows whose hand left that mark and whose blood is on that paper. So, we're talking about this giant fucking, like, wall-sized piece of paper, right? So I can't say one way or the other. That's fair. If thou seest a flaw in me, smite me. If thou knowest a fall of mine, burn me with flames of fury and righteousness. But if thou seest a light in me, grace me. If thou hearest this plea of mine, bless me with wrath of fury and righteousness. Just a voice is sonorous, as if made for swinging hymns and prayers. Yep. But right now, she cannot seem to catch her breath. So overwhelmed with emotion is she. Okay, I don't feel like reading poems. Oh, this is not voiced. Okay, I was expecting her to start speaking now that she was done with the prayers. Rogue Trader, we need to talk. Or rather, I need to tell you something. The truth. The truth about how I ended up on Theodora von Valanci's ship, and about the cultists we encountered on Footfall. Okay. Please understand, I couldn't trust you before. I'll tell you my story, and you'll see why. I'll start at the beginning. It's easier to piece everything together that way. Usually, so here's a quick tip. Here's a quick tip When you're telling a story, now there are exceptions to this. When you're telling a story, usually you start at the beginning. Usually when telling a story, you start at the beginning. You hear football every time you mention that name. That's fair. That's fair. It's easier to place everything together that way. Upon arriving in the Expanse and on Footfall, I found no purpose here, only torment. I wasn't needed. The reliquary I had been assigned to safeguard was already well protected by Reverend Hieronymus's mission, and no one was even trying to defile it. For all its lawlessness, Footfall respects the worship of the Emperor. That was when Lady Theodora, head of your dynasty, appeared. She became an agent of divine will in a way. It was from her that I learned about a planet recently discovered by her scouts, Salus Prime. For a rogue trader, the planet was of little interest, a feral world away from convenient warp routes. But for me, learning about its existence was a revelation. I've never heard of such a planet. Yes, now the planet is yours by right, but it's not as simple as that. The warp route leading to it was lost. I will explain in due time. May I continue? Yeah, sure. The description of Salus Prime was familiar to me. It seemed very similar to a world from an ancient legend, the legend of Saint Argenta and her ship. Argenta, the living saint, she is my patroness. I couldn't tell by the name. The order named me after her. Oh, she literally says it in the next line. She died millennia ago when heretics caused her ship to fall from the skies. Wait, if she was a living saint, then why is she the living saint if she's dead, huh? Checkmate, Catholics. But even those blasphemers could not touch Argenta's ashes or her holy relic, the one star. For the fallen ship, which now served as the resting place for the saint's remains, would only allow the truly righteous to enter. All others would meet their death. Imagine what I felt. If she is so good, then why is she dead? Exactly. Ricardo gets it. Imagine what I felt when this flash of insight came upon me. The world where Saint Argenta's ship fell was merely a vague legend. No one knew its actual whereabouts. And suddenly I, myself named after the saint, come across this information. I realized at that moment that it was important, that I must journey to the planet and find the ship. And so I asked Reverend Hieronymus to let me go for a time on a personal pilgrimage. I boarded Theodora's ship and demanded passage to the newly discovered planet Salus Prime. No. I couldn't just come out and tell him. It was important reveal to me personally, can't you see? I told Reverend Hieronymus the honest truth, that I was going on a personal pilgrimage to embolden my spirit. It really was a pilgrimage. It was as if Saint Argenta herself had shown me the way, commanding me to undertake this trial. If I had found the ship and set foot on its decks, if I had laid my hand on her remains and the relic, it would have been a sign that I truly had been blessed with the saint's favor. I was about to say, like, that was kind of dumb of you to not tell anybody. Holy relics cannot be truly lost. It has been! You just said that this bitch has been gone for a millennia. Or for multiple millennia. Yeah, she died millennia ago, meaning it's been thousands of years, you dumbass. What do you mean? When the time is right, they reveal themselves to the worthy, but I will accept this reproach and try my best to think about it. All right, imagine Theodora. Lady Theodora lent her assistance. It was her intention to visit the newly discovered world, and she took me with her. Apologies, I got so carried away I forgot to explain. The one star is the relic kept by Saint Argenta. I belong to the Order Pronatus. and we attach particular significance to holy relics. Basically, what she said. Yeah. The 1 star is one of the lost relics of the past. I thought you couldn't lose a relic. Anyway. So mysterious that no one even knows what it is exactly. Argenta's hagiography? Is that a word? I feel like that's not actually a word. The writing of the lives of saints. Okay. That is such a specific term. The writing of the lives of saints. Or biography that idealizes its subject. All right, anyway. Hagiography at times calls it a banner or a set of armor or a blessed chainsword. One thing is certain, it was a beacon of righteousness, and it was lost with Argenta's death. I just had an image of like the Super Mario World, or like I guess in Mario Kart they do this too, right? You hit the thing and then whatever item you get is in a fucking, it's in a slot. It's like it's randomly selected. So like you get there and the item that you get is determined as soon as you set foot into the ship. Do old things gain special powers in the 40k universe, like actual magical relics, or are they just crazy? I don't know. I don't know. My knowledge of 40k is incredibly limited. Now, here's the thing. The answer to that is yes, in one specific circumstance that I know of, and that is if the orcs believe that they have power. Because the orcs have magic because they believe that they have magic, and they can imbue other things with magic if they believe that that thing is magical. Defeat. Argenta says bitterly. Oh, what happened next? The ship's augurs failed to detect anything of note during orbital scanning. I was expecting this, though. According to the legend, the ship can conceal itself from the naked eye, and only a pilgrim guided by a pure heart can find it. What I didn't expect was an ambush waiting for us on the planet. I landed there with a small unit provided by Theodora. I know St. Argenta's hagiography by heart. I know all the legends about her. I followed their obscure clues. The descriptions of mountains and rivers from a millennia-old tales. And I was certain that I had found the way to the ship, and that's when we were attacked. Everything changed when the Fire Nation attacked. The words we heard in the heretic shrine on Footfall, something about ways, doors, please address to some lord the edge of daybreak. They were the same words as those spoken by the cultists who attacked us on Salah's Prime. My whole unit perished. All those honest, brave people I had led search for the relic. It was only by a miracle that I didn't perish along with them. Cowardice. Rivers change. I don't think Argenta knows this. That's true. And over millennia, yeah. I didn't connect these events at first. The cultists on Footfall, the cultists on Salah's Prime, the cultists attacking the ship, and Kunrad's betrayal. What if these are all links in the same chain? What if they've long since infiltrated the ranks of the Von Valencia's servants? And what if I led those heretics to the sacred planet with my search? Oh yes, and I sincerely hope that we will meet him again. That serpent needs to answer a few questions before he is plunged into cleansing flame. I agree. Hell, after millennia, mountains change. Like, let's be real here. Depending on how many millennia we're talking about, the mountains themselves could have changed. If the heretics really had wormed their way into the Von Valence's ranks by then, they would have found the planet even without you going there. This is true. I doubt it. No one except me was particularly interested in the planet. Kunrad, on the other hand, he sympathized with me when I first came aboard. He helped arrange an audience with Theodora and supported me in my effort to visit the planet. I never told him plainly why I wanted to go there, but I imagined that vulture must have figured out that it was something important, something related to the holy faith of the Imperium. And what could delight a heretic more than defiling a relic? This is true. This is true. So how did you manage to escape from the cultists? Theodora's people received the distress call, came to my rescue, and brought me aboard the ship. I barely remember what happened. When they arrived, I was already severely wounded, fighting back with whatever remained of my strength. I think I shouted that we had to go after them, but they didn't listen. They took me to the shuttle and pulled out. After that, it's all blackness. When I came to, we were already in the middle of a warp jump. Theodora had urgent matters to take care of, and she decided that she could clear out the planet at a later time. That's why you didn't trust me before. Yes, Rogue Trader. I saw with my own eyes how a member of your family showed his true colors as a servant of the archenemy. I had already suffered a humiliating defeat at the hands of cultists and was afraid of another betrayal. I couldn't be forthright with you, and so I studied you, looking for seeds of corruption or the light of righteousness. A man who stood shoulder to shoulder with me and helped eradicate the cultists on Footfall. Argenta smiles as if reminiscing about a pleasant evening spent in the company of friends, rather than a bloody battle. I mean, both are probably the same to her, like, let's be honest. Although my opinion of you started to change even before then, back when you agreed to talk to the orphans at my request. A leader who's willing to honor those who lay down their lives for them and take care of their children is a leader who inspires trust. The way you acted in that moment. You remember, there was a young man whose grief and confusion had driven him to insolence. You found the words that could comfort him. You didn't punish him, didn't scare him with a show of austerity. You even admitted that you're not all-powerful. It surprised me. I even saw it as weakness at first, but after giving it some thought, I saw the wisdom in it. The way you openly address the thoughtless boy does you credit, Rogue Trader. Yes, I rushed to Theodora the moment I could walk again, and I insist on going back to Salus Prime to defend the relic from the heretics. But I was told that the warp had destroyed the old route to the planet, and that plotting a new one would take a great deal of time and effort, as if there could be anything more important than protecting the faith and hunting down servants of the archenemy. In any event, the route was lost, and all knowledge of it died in the attack on the ship along with the old navigator. But now we have a new lead, the data that we collected in the cultist shrine on Footfall. I don't care what that reprobate we executed said. There must be a way to track them down. Tell me, Rogue Trader, will you help me in this undertaking? Will you help me find this great relic and return it to the people of the Imperium? So be it, Rogue Trader. As I stand here before the warrant, the embodiment of the Emperor's will marked by his own hand, I vow that I will not relent until the holy relic has been returned and the heretics punished, and may the light be with us both on this path. You know, I just realized I spent a lot of time reading their lines, but I tend to skip over mine. When in doubt, save. The most important tip that you could possibly get in any RPG is basically just the stolen lands, but in space, kind of. Where's Abelard? Wait. Oh, okay. It was backwards. The camera was backwards. I don't like that the camera was backwards.
Lord Captain, I thank you for the honor, but I must decline.
I figured.
As a former military officer, I believe in the importance of order in all things, including the chain of command. You are the Lord Captain, my direct superior. I am not prepared to address you in any way other than as regulation dictates.
Yeah, that's fair.
Lord Captain.
I kind of expected something like that. Oh, okay, so there's nothing here. Nothing here for now. Heinrichs.
To what do I owe this visit?
Holy shit. You just have him kill Adira? Holy fuck, that's... What? That's... I mean, they kind of make sense in this universe, but Jesus.
Yes, but not here. I wouldn't want our conversation to be gossip fodder on the bridge and in the officers' mess.
Fair enough. Glare. Just the face. Thank you for finding an opportunity to talk. I trust now would be a good time to explain the reason for my return aboard your ship. Yeah. Lord Captain, your enthusiasm is commendable. The interrogator smiles, but his eyes remain cold. To business then. The cult of the Final Dawn. The madmen preach that their heretical doctrine among the denizens of the Coronis Expanse and instigate crimes against the throne and humanity. One such crime took place in your protectorate. The Lord Inquisitor considered it necessary to have one of his acolytes accompany the rogue trader on the voyage into the corrupted region. I also need to meet with one of my observers on the capital world of your domain. Why would Ordo Xenos agents investigate a chaos cult? That is a good question. You're well versed in how the Inquisition is organized, Harry. Yes, initially our arrival in the Coronis Expanse was dictated by the need to fight Xenos, but there is more. But there is more. The cult. Ah, it's an M-dash. It's AI. Ah! Burn the entire game to the ground. There's an M-dash. Anyway. The cult is tangentially related to my main specialization. Perhaps I will be able to reveal the truth, the full truth someday. But right now, I ask you to display humility and patience. Chaos worshippers, most often agents of the throne, run into lone renegades stirring up the rabble, insane prophets and hysteric visionaries teaching the end of days. A passing comet, a mutant rebellion, an onslaught of monsters. Each time they come up with a new reason why people should prostrate themselves and quiver in fear. Much effort and the blood of those loyal to the Golden Throne were spent before, before we established the connection between those heretics. However, the cult of the Final Dawn is something greater than a gaggle of misguided seers and fortune tellers. They cleverly spread their agents all over the Coronis Expanse, disseminating heresy among honest people on the Imperial worlds. There is a certain strategy to their actions that changes whenever we get too close. And finally, they have enough military power to have had the 2 ships that we sent after them later discovered as wreckage. The growing difficulty in making warp jumps is detrimental to us, but is unlikely to inconvenience those who engage in vile sorcery day in and day out. After the events on Rykad Minoris, I suspected the cult might have built its nest inside Winterscale's domain, but the latest reports indicate it is your protectorate that is harboring heretics. Being in your entourage improves my chances of getting closer to their secrets. What the fuck? Chaos treads softly, Terry. The main danger of secret cults and sects is that they are like seeds. They can remain in the ground for decades, safe from all scrutiny, until an opportunity to sprout, grow, and bear monstrous fruit presents itself. The emergence of a cult on one of the rogue traders' planets does not mean the dynasty head himself is a chaos worshipper. Having said that, it should be noted that Theodora von Valancius was famous for her loose interpretation of the freedoms granted by the warrant. Heinrichs regards you with a probing look. A bloodline can be stained by ancestral transgressions. If it is indeed so, it is in your best interest to do whatever necessary to redeem yourself. And then, perhaps, you will get a chance to salvage your dynasty's reputation. Throw him out the airlock. That I feel would have negative repercussions. I'm not gonna lie. The Lord Inquisitor mentioned in his letter that he is willing to show lenience towards my actions that would otherwise be interpreted as radical. That is correct. I should show greater tolerance for the mistakes of a newly appointed rogue trader. To be frank, I am surprised. The Lord Inquisitor is not the type to indulge the weakness of soul and mind, even in someone who only recently accepted the burden of a lofty title. You have spies on the Von Valancius worlds? This is kind of a dumb question because of course they do, but we'll do it. The person I mentioned is not a spy, but a secretary in the Administratum Department on Dargonis. The planet's governor and Theodora were fully aware of his status. His duty is to fulfill the sacred oath to the Golden Throne and eliminate threats to the Imperium, which the Coronis Expanse has in abundance. His name is Achilles Scalander. As soon as we contact Dargonis, I will introduce you as the new head of the dynasty. I am sure you will appreciate the presence of such an advisor among your subjects, and I suggest you heed his words, at least occasionally. All right, what else? The rogue trader should deliver me to the system that contains the industrial world of Kiava Gamma. I will then accompany you to the surface and determine what the cult is planning and how it intends to use the resources that have fallen into their clutches, which may very well include the blessed engines of the Adeptus Mechanicus and even the followers of the Omnissiah themselves. Holy shit. All right, I was not expecting 1,000 more questions. I will be frank, the answer to this question is unlikely to please either of us. The machinations of chaos usually go beyond solely inflicting countless deaths and destruction. Having their plans come to fruition would lead to far more terrible consequences. One of the systems of the Coronis Expanse is already lost. May the Emperor protect us from watching this tragedy play out again. When did the square come back? As soon as we were leaving Footfall. Yeah, he was gone the entire time, but yeah, so I am curious about the Chaos Space Marines, because yeah, we did run into one of them. I have no doubt it will happen sooner or later, Terry. Chaos Marines siding with the cult is very, very bad news. Most likely they kept away until recently, pulling their puppet strings from a respectable distance. These traitors seldom show up alone. The best we can count on is having to deal with just a squad of Chaos Space Marines in the Coronis Expanse and not an entire company. We could deal with them. That first one went down within one round. On Rykad Minoris, you made a decision that sent billions of souls into the grasp of the archenemy, an unreasonable and unforgettably high price for a small handful of people saved by your mercy. Do I consider it a worthy exchange? I most certainly do not. Will I make every effort to make sure such an exchange does not happen again? Of course I will. Sentimentality is a luxury I cannot afford. Wait, what? How did I do that? So is the arch enemy like Satan, where like if people worship him when they die, he gets more powerful? Well, no, he's talking about Rykad Minoris. The ship was just like, it was in the system, but it wasn't on Rykad Minoris. Yeah, like is he Space Satan? That gets stronger if people die while worshiping him? Because, like, everybody on Rykad Minoris that we didn't save are going to die. They're going to die. They're dead. Like, at this point, they would be dead. They would have frozen to death because the fucking sun is gone. So there's no heat source for the planet. Everybody in that system is dead unless they could leave themselves. So the only way that we set billions of souls into the grasp of the archenemy is if is the archenemy in Warhammer 40k basically space Satan? Question mark. Did you just say the sun? No. Oh, okay. So, like, what was he expecting of you? I think he was expecting me to. I'm trying to remember because I can't really remember much of that conversation. Because I don't think we had the power to, like, blow up the planet. Do we? There ain't no way we have the kind of firepower to blow up a planet when we have trouble blowing up individual ships. Yeah, you did? Really? Then why the fuck are individual ships a problem? Bullshit. Shenanigans. I do not believe you lack compassion. You did not stop me after all, although you certainly could have tried to. I guess sometimes the good of the Imperium demands we turn a blind eye to the fate of its individual servants. I mean, like, obviously, yes. Yeah, but, like, you gotta figure, the amount of firepower required to blow up a planet, like, that is an insane amount of destructive potential. Like, a shield, for something to be able to withstand that, the ships have better armor than planets, I guess. I'm just not gonna think about it too much. I guess sometimes it's good. Yeah, like this is something like that is objectively true. It sucks, but it's objectively true. You needn't have used the word sometimes. The good of the Imperium always prevails over the lives of its individual servants. Ender's Game says you're wrong. Shh. I may sometimes falter, but that speaks of my weakness, not the generosity of my soul. Much hinges on the decisions made by the Inquisition, sometimes far more than an ordinary servant of the throne can see. This is such a stupid question. We already know that there are fucking cultists on Kiavagama. We already know this. Why is this a question? I guess this is a question just in case you didn't learn this while you were on Footfall. I guess. Also, it has been a long time since I've read Ender's Game. Or if you forget the plot. That's true, considering we were just talking about how much I forgot about Chapter 1 already. Yeah. A commendable aspiration for a person who holds the fate of billions of people and dozens of imperial worlds in his hands. Which is why you need to be ever more vigilant when looking for seeds of corruption on your planets, lest they sprout someday and spell doom for whatever is tangled up in their roots. These long ass games. So the reason that that's not as big of an argument is because this is something that we talked about literally last session, like yesterday. Yesterday we were talking to people and they were talking, like, I'm pretty sure the cutscene when we get back on the ship specifies that there are cultists on Kiavagama and that the world is basically fallen. Yeah. Tell me about the Drukhari who stole the sun. I think that this hasn't been discussed enough. The Drukhari, one of the branches of the Eldari and an ancient and vicious Xenos race. Those creatures are a living terror to ordinary people who fall prey to their raids for the simple reason that the victims are not killed outright, but instead become their playthings. Just as you and I need air to survive, the Drukhari require psychic energy born from torment and pain, which they extract from their captives with uncanny expertise. Their ships, which are difficult to mistake for any other, arrive suddenly and undetected. Their stealth technologies greatly surpass the capabilities of standard Imperium augur arrays. The objective of their raids is never to capture a world or ship. No, they are only interested in fresh victims. After filling their holds with living captives, they disappear into the webway. Extra-dimensional space, also known as the labyrinth dimension, which links world sectors and stars from one end of the galaxy to another. How is this different than the warp? Anyway, a different dimension, which conceals their greatest stronghold, Kamorag, the dark city of the Drukhari, from which none can hope to escape. I do not know why the Drukhari stole Rykat's son and brought about the fulfillment of the cult's prophecies. Perhaps the Xenos themselves have played into the archenemy's designs, or perhaps Aurora's divinations, in fact, describe the Drukhari's actions. There is only one thing I can say with absolute certainty. There is no alliance between the cult of the Final Dawn and the Xenos. It is simply impossible. This man is dumb. Despite all evidence, it is impossible that these people could be working together. Despite the evidence that the prophecy says that the sun will vanish, and then the sun vanishes due to the actions of these aliens, it is impossible that they are working together. That just cannot be. So, how long do we go? If you know this, do not spoil this for me, Dante. How long do we go before we figure out that they're working together? Do you think? Chapter 3 or chapter 4? I'm expecting some kind of connection to be found on Kiava Gamma, honestly. Well, let's click this and see what the fuck he says. Disjointed pieces of data that finally merged into a single picture. Next chapter. Additionally, not long ago, a vessel from that world arrived on Footfall. The reports from the crew were confusing and alarming, making me fear a planet-wide rebellion. Yeah. Anything else? Let me put it this way. You may think whatever you want of me, but my goal is not to hinder you. I am here to help you in the fight against foes you may not even be aware of. You have my word that I'll provide every assistance in uprooting the heresy that has sprouted on the Von Valancius worlds while their master was away. And then I'll try to be more patient with the less grievous flaws the bearers of the warrant are sometimes known to have. Thank you for sparing the time, Lord Captain. That was a long conversation. Holy shit. Oh, it's those. Save and have him kill the mage girl? I don't want to, though. I don't wanna. Maybe at some point. For science? You have anything? Ah, okay. Wait, really? Nothing? We just talked to her. Speaking of Adira, do you have anything to say here? Left by Theodora somewhere on Dargonis and Kiavagama.
Me? Not a clue, Lord Captain. I don't know who Lady Theodora would have told about a thing like that, but it definitely wasn't me. Why would you whisper that to me now? Why? Lord Captain, I don't know anything about caches or Lady Theodora's secrets, but the voices have just reminded me about something. I was once given the chance to try some real wine. Lady Theodora gave me some. Not just any old synthetic booze, but her favorite plonk. She always drank it in her palace. It was golden in color, and its name was Flame of Purity. A silly name, but the flavor was so intense, and like nothing I'd ever tasted before or since. Apologies. It's probably not important, but I don't know anything more than that.
Interesting.
Of course.
Bella, do you have anything to say?
Dumb it.
Oh, Jesus. Wait, have I just not talked to her yet?
Torture? I bear the sacred marks of the Undying One's service. Death has bestowed them upon me.
Yeah, I don't know if we listen to all of this right now.
Meaningless beauty. It is my duty to cherish his gift of blood. Each wound is a symbol of our service to him. Each drop of blood carries his blessing. To renounce these scars is to renounce the Undying One himself. Death whispers to me, you are worthy of bearing his marks. Tell me, Domin, do you wish to honor your flesh with his gifts?
Yeah, I'm not into that.
A boon cannot be given to one who is not ready to receive it.
I will do. All right, so we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'll do one more and then we're gonna leave. And I am curious about this. So what the hell does Domin mean?
The Gothic we use to communicate is different to that spoken on the upper decks. Domin has many meanings. Giver of life, Lord or Lady of the Ark, and Shadowless Sun. The matriarch spider.
Technically, every sun is shadowless because it's an omnidirectional light source. So no sun has a shadow.
For example, Venai means master of the immaterium, or watcher of the veil. Vil means one who must go to the other side. Amic means one you can trust in battle.
Yeah, like shadowless sun, that's literally just the first part of this is just unnecessary. Every sun is shadowless. All right.
May the Undying One.
Yeah. Fuck. What if these unlock? What if these unlock quests?
The Visir taught us that there are many like us throughout the Imperium who spill blood in his name. Death cultists, as they call us. He said that no two death cults are the same, just as there are no two identical stars in the void. I will tell you about the blood-spun web, but I cannot speak on behalf of all death cults. The Undying One is death itself. We serve him, and thus we serve death. This is not a comparison, attribution, or preference. It is the truth, and nothing can change it.
I will refrain from making real-world comparisons.
The blood-spun web holds the bays of the flagship together with the threads of its faith. Such is our service to the Domini of the von Valancius line. The Undying One commanded the Domini to embark on a ship and sail the void's expanse. And thus, it became our duty to protect your dynasty and the Ark that became its home. This great relic of blood and adamantine.
Wait, this ship is made of adamantine?
Some loathe
The
and
whole
fear
thing?
us. They call us murderers and reapers. Others call us dancers of death, who send the souls of the dead on their way. Both are right. Both are wrong. We are servants of the Undying Emperor. When he whispers that the time has come for a righteous martyr's soul to be laid in his blessed hands, we come to claim it. When he whispers that the wicked must know of his wrath, we come to reap. This is how we maintain order on the ship, unseen and guided by death's will.
You hear a whisper in your mind telling you to kill someone and you obey. Have you ever considered that these whispers could be a deception orchestrated by minions of the archenemy? Demons are ahead, ask her to kill people. Yeah, basically.
Death's whisper is unmistakable. It is not like the murmur of stars or the hiss of corruption. It is truthful, pure, unyielding. Only the most eminent of us, the high spinners, can hear the whisper of the Undying One and give voice to his will. They must hone their senses and temper their body and soul for years before his call can reach them. If it puts you more at ease, you can think of these whispers as his providence.
We already know this. We already know this. I don't want to do this.
The tenets are knowledge, an art that is passed down from one generation of the blood-spun web to the
Then don't.
next.
So the reason I clicked it is because I was like, this, of the options that we have right now, this one is the one that's most likely to lead to a companion quest.
The Undying One. The tenets dictate how one follows the thread of life, but they are also the thread itself, from first breath to last. The tenets cannot be taught. They must be lived. Only then will you understand.
Okay. You know, I said that I was gonna do one more like 2 ago. We'll do this one.
Use blood to read his sacred cards and hear the whisper of the undying one. His
Skill value
power
112?
but a question I ask of the universe, and the universe answers with questions of its own. In this sacred communion, I perceive hundreds of possible outcomes. They are all true, and yet they are.
Ask her if she would kill if voices tell her to.
I know what will come to pass, and yet I do not.
We'll do that after we get through this. Empress Tarot is usually read by this.
I am the spear of his retribution, not a witch or
On the yeah. No. I know which one you're talking about.
I have no strange powers, but I do bear his blessing. I do not command the veil. I am guided by his whisper and led by my faith, by the tenets. Please, do not mistake me for something I am not.
This wasn't a, are you actually a psyker? This is, oh, that's strange that you're able to do this. Usually this is done by somebody who has fucking psychic abilities. You occasionally feel a shiver run down your spine or detect faint sparks in the air when you're standing next to Cabela. It seems her powers only manifest when she is practicing divination or in moments of highest exaltation. Cabela herself does not... Oh, okay. So she is actually a psyker. Really? How many cards are in your deck?
34. There used to be more, but some have perished in the darkness of time. Their loss is a great tragedy for the blood-spun web. It is a holy relic that has been passed down from generation to generation. Only the first and second spinners are allowed to study the sacred cards and interpret their meaning. We use his tarot to guide the cult and discern the tangled threads of fate.
Can you give me a reading?
Ask the cards, Domin, and I will listen.
Lay some face down before you.
The first card is the young warrior. It suggests inexperience, a path of becoming. The second card is the shattered world inverted. The path will have twists, turns, and thorns, but you will gather allies along the way and find what was lost.
All right.
The third, the hound inverted. Someone has marked you as their prey and is chasing you through a field of traps. The lost child. You will leap into one of those traps of your own free will and place your trust in someone truly desperate.
Interesting. Okay, yeah, let's do this one.
Lords and wretches are equal before death. If such is the Undying One's will, I will guide you to him, Domin.
Yeah, so yeah, she will kill me.
I met her once when I was young. The Vizier saw a serpent hiding among those close...
Throw her out the airlock as well. Yeah, we're just gonna kill half of our party.
Into her throat. I was ordered to find the serpent and sever the soul from its body. I watched and waited for weeks. I hid among the shadows, the air ducts and the faceless masses. Once I found
To be safe.
I sliced off its head and returned to the temple. I doubt that Domin Theodora ever saw me, but the 3 ritual cuts I left behind on the body let her know that this death was pleasing to him. They sent us a grand feast from the upper decks before the cycle's end. We gave it to the hungry. I am the second spinner of the blood-spun web. A spear in the hand of the undying Emperor. I am your shield and shadow. Your blade.
Like curiosity flashes across Cabela's face before it is masked by our usual stoic indifference.
The tenets compel us to let our deeds speak on our behalf. There is no one in the cult who does not know me. So I have grown accustomed to taciturnity in matters regarding myself. Ask, and I will try to give you an answer that will satisfy your thirst for knowledge.
Your fighting style is unique.
Fail you, Domin. Your bones will break. Your tendons will snap. Your heart will stop. Our rituals of self-perfection are unending. They demand absolute dedication and decades of special training. However, if you devote the next 30 years of your life to its study, you might be able to learn the basics. I remember nothing of my childhood. The Vizier says this is because of my training and the injuries I received in battle. He told me it is the fate of all high spinners. The only memories I have are of the blood-spun web and the brothers and sisters who serve the cult alongside me.
I don't remember my childhood. It was I've experienced far too much trauma. My brain shut it all down.
When we were young,
I was told that this is normal though and not to worry about it.
and
Okay.
through the bays for months at a time.
Excuse me?
Surviving. Dying. This trial of darkness honed the senses of those who passed it. We were elated, for we knew we were blessed by him. When we grew older, we learned to wield our weapons, and our mentors tested us with pain, poison, and the weight of deceitful words. In time, our bodies no longer felt pain. Our blood became resistant to toxins, and our focus could not be shaken. We were at peace, for we had shed everything that could encumber our faithful service to him. When we came of age, we faced a great trial. A year-long vigil spent in unceasing prayer to the Undying One. When hunger and other base sensations faded away, we attained true comprehension of ourselves and our place in the
Really
world.
not liking this?
Our place.
Kind of making it sound really masochistic. Well, every time I talk to her, she cuts herself, so...
On that day, he truly accepted us, and we accepted him.
I mean, like, let's be real. She's not supposed to be a character that you're like, oh my god, this character is so fucking... Oh my god, I want to be just like her. She's written to be like, yeah, this is a fucked up individual. But she is really fucking effective at what she does. She's kind of boring. Yeah. She's definitely not my favorite character. Like, the concept is really interesting. Like, she's a death cultist. She's a cultist. She was raised in the cult from childhood to be this one thing. She is very good at this one thing. She is one note by design, right? And like, her life would lead her to be a one note character. So like, this it makes sense. Like, she's not a badly written character. I'm just not a fan of the Uber Edge. We faced a great trial, a year-long vigil, spent an unceasing prayer to the Undying One. When hunger and our other base sensations faded away, we attained true comprehension of ourselves and our place in the world, our place between life and death. We were proud, for on that day he truly accepted us, and we accepted him. So, like, this right here, like Cabela in most playthroughs of Wrath of the Righteous, at least this serial killer has somebody else telling her. So, like, if you've ever seen the movie Wanted, I kind of think of her as, like, a far more extreme version of the assassins in Wanted. So, like, this right here tells me that there's something fucking weird going on here, right? Because a year-long vigil spent an unceasing prayer to the Undying One. Yeah, exactly. When hunger and other base sensations faded away. So, she spent a year without eating or drinking.
It is impossible to understand the value of your body and spirit if you've never experienced physical or emotional pain. Pain is temporary, but experience endures. Experience can be sharpened like a blade and turned into mastery. I've never regretted walking the thread I was destined to follow. You can see for yourself. Tools for tempering the flesh. If a spinner neglects this practice for too long, their body will weaken and their sensitivity to pain might return. If it does, they will feel the overwhelming agony of every wound they have ever endured and go mad with torment before the Undying Emperor whispers their name.
Okay.
Is it possible to experience pleasure if one feels nothing?
I am not going to torture you.
You honor me by taking me at my word.
I was actually expecting her to be a little insulted.
When we join the cult, we relinquish our past. The blood-spun web becomes our new family. I have seen the pain, terror, and doubt in the eyes of those who hear the Undying One whisper the names of their kin. For some, the blessing of oblivion is a gift not unlike death. No.
All right. Okay, sure. The most blunt and shortest answer possible. 2 letters. No way I missed it by 4. Damn it. I missed it because of my fucking background.
It brings me comfort when my brothers and sisters cross to the other side. The Undying One has called them to his side, so they can serve him in ways we cannot. Attachment makes us weak. The weak meet their demise prematurely. But such death does not please the Undying One. For a soul must not be...
Imagine if that failed roll locks you out of her personal quest. Well, if it does, it does.
It is true that spinners occasionally cross paths with those inside the cult. But such paths always diverge in the end. We may walk the same road together, but we are nothing more than temporary traveling companions. It is similar for those of your retinue. Our threads may intertwine for a time, but all will go their separate ways, as is inevitable. But not you and I, Domin. Our threads cannot be unwoven, and only the Undying One will end my service to you.
All right.
Know your enemy and prevail in battle. Know your ally and prevail in war. It is not difficult to speak the truth.
All right.
May the
Yeah. We did it! We survived the conversation with her. Oh, hey, Abel's here. No shit. How are you feeling? The running of the Binaric protocol was bogged down and dissolved in false commands. The filter has separated the correct signals from the incorrect. The running has been restored to its swiftness. Hell yeah. Tech Brother Abel has passed the diagnostics. The pernicious influence of sacrilegious procedures has been completely eliminated. Statistically, most survivors of a schismatical's infestation are left with severe cognitive impairments. However, Tech Brother Abel's mind, being of a less typical nature, has not been damaged to so great a degree. That conversation alone was a challenge for real. Tech Brother Abel, are you free from possession? You are free. Just as you pose no threat to my ship. What was flawed has since been purged, but the shadows of the hunt linger. The cog is dismounted, and no judgment has been made. In the absence of a judgment, threat remains. Who will make the judgment? I will. Pascal places a mechadendrite on Abel's shoulder and repeats, his voice heavy like a wheel tread. His voice heavy like a wheel tread, crushing the dirt underneath. I will make the judgment that will avert the threat. There is no need to frighten him. What troubles him? It assumed at first that this was caused by the shock inflicted upon his system by the schismatical attack, but my Tech Brother's words are a sign of a deeper reason for his unease. He foresees something that threatens both him and all those around him, and thus I stand ready to face this threat. What judgment do you speak of? Only he knows, but if my Tech Brother fears that he might not make this right decision at the critical moment, then I will do it for him. Tech Brother Abel is harmonious, and harmony is beauty. Is it so strange an urge to protect beauty from the horrors of the grotesque? Fair. I'll not do that. Like, this is such a shitty question. He's not the one that you wanted, so why do you give a fuck about his, well-being? Thank you. Why do you and Pascal have the same name? The naming of the names is not an index to the text. The naming of the names is the text. What the fuck? Abel's answers could be enigmatic. Yeah, I would say so. His mind works differently from ours. He thinks in harmonic imagery and notices the symmetries and proportional relationships in the world around him. Poetry would be the closest analogy to how he perceives and interacts with reality. Are we overthinking it? At this point in time, the cycle has been broken and reshaped into a rising spiral, as Amernat envisioned. They are connected. My hypothesis regarding Abel's connection to the blessed Amernat has been confirmed. Wait. Oh shit, so that was okay, that was that guy. Okay. What are you working on? We catch the soul of the light in the solar wind. We look for the footsteps the Omniscient left when he walked the desert. This is the computation procedure. The depersonalized minds of these machine servants are in a data dream, processing enormous arrays of assorted data and aggregating them. Virtually all results of such synthesis are scrap data, but occasionally we have noted coincidences that whose exactness defied logic. Clock out, have a great weekend. Have a good night, random. Sleep well. Sleep well. Take a closer look at the vid screen. You notice certain repeating patterns in the scrolly columns of runes. You may not know what they mean, but you clearly see, or rather sense, their similarities. You point these out to Abel, making his face light up with joy. A crystal is exquisite in clear water. Deviation from the cycle's trajectory has been increased, as was Amernat's wish. Abel lowers his head, and his Vox synthesizer broadcasts a binaric hymn you do not recall having heard before. Its sound is full of vibrant energy, and its precise rhythm is nothing short of pleasing to the ear. A rare thing for the language of the Adeptus Mechanicus. The tech brother Abel has dedicated a lesser aria to you. The piece is distinguished by a high degree of acoustic harmony and is fit for use as a motto, auxiliary identifier, or epitaph. I thank you for the generous gift. The gift is disproportionate, but it does signify a personal affinity. It is how we execute the quest for knowledge in the hope that the machine god grants us an epiphany, so that we may discern a logical connection in a mass of absurd data, which will propel our comprehension forward. Inspect. The hair has been removed from the servitors' heads. Wait, what? Oh, Jesus, I just noticed these people. Okay. Their bulky cerebral augmetics cover their skulls like helmets. The faces of the cogitators' servants are blank. Their eyes are closed. Their lips are incessantly whispering what sounds like gibberish. Hundreds of lines of symbols containing information scroll down the cogitator's bid screen. Abel Hanneman peers at it with voracious interest, in sharp contrast to his usual placidity. What? Okay. I was like, I clicked the thing. Why did you... Those pillars are alive? Yeah, this and this, these are people that have been attached to machines. You can see them jerk and twitch every once in a while. Brutal? Yeah. Warhammer. Right? A low guttural sound rises from the depths of Pascal's Vox synth, as though the planet's tectonic plates are shifting and crushing each other. The mighty rumble brings forth words imbued with power. We follow a path charted by a great mind, but that path leads to dark places. The cycle has the advantage of predictability. Abandoning it will plunge the collective into a perilous space of uncertainty, which will inevitably lead to disasters and the risk of universal annihilation. Okay. It went from 0 to 100 real quick. The doctrine of discontinuing the cycle may herald good things to come, or it may be a death sentence. Only the Omniscient knows all and comprehends all. Others are mere prophets who interpret his wisdom as far as their own comprehension permits. I like to pick two. So here's the thing, like, all of these options are like, yeah. Like, is that not the promise of every heresy? That it is, right? Like, that is a true statement. As flawed as the status quo is, it has helped us survive for the past 10 millennia, therefore it is effective. Effective, yes. This is also true because humanity obviously still exists. But we have already seen it works. It's not great, right? Like, we've already seen that, like, yeah, fuck that planet, blow it up, right? It is better to meet the challenge of change and perish in failure than to rot alive. Disaster is just another word for a new opportunity. Not missing it is what it's all about. I don't like 4. I actually like 3 or 5. I'm not a huge fan of 2 because I'm not a huge fan of just like, well, fuck progress forever, right? Why should we try to make things better? I'm not a fan of that. This statement is true. The annihilation promised by stagnation is inevitable. Annihilation in the course of a crisis of change is merely probable. And meekly waiting for the foretold decline is shameful and constitutes a betrayal of the quest of knowledge. Yeah. Yeah, 100%. Oh. Okay.
May your labors be effective and fruitful.
God, I wish I liked him better in combat. Because, like, he's probably the guy that I'm going to replace with Jai. Oh, by the way, I forgot to look at her. All right, what do we got? So she's an officer. How has she been built? Commerce, obviously. Bring it down. Okay, yeah. Grants an ally an extra turn with full AP and MP. Oh, yeah, that's the ult. Yep. Fellowship, yeah. Gains 10% bonus to dodge. Okay. As the bonus granted by voice of command remains until the end of combat, this bonus does not stack with itself or with bonuses granted by voice of command, but does count as an officer ability effect for the purchase of other talents. Okay. Immediately grants an ally additional MP equal to 7. The target can only use movement abilities, heroic acts, or desperate measures during this extra turn. Oh, it's an extra turn that they... Oh, okay. If the target is under the voice of command, it ignores attacks of opportunity until the end of the officer's turn. Oh, interesting. And then you have 2 movement points. Use an ability that grants movement points to the target. The officer also gains half that number of movement points. Holy shit. Wait, does this scale? Scales off a fellowship. Okay. Commerce. Target deals 21% damage to the end of combat. The target gains the effect of voice of command. In full? Holy shit. That's actually crazy. Lore Imperium. Ballistic skill. Officer makes an attack. They gain +5 fellowship until the end of combat. Oh shit. Ballistic skill, take aim. The target's next attack will ignore cover. It will have double the effective distance. If the target is under the effect of voice of command, attack will ignore enemy block and dodge. Additionally, the damage from this attack cannot be reduced below 51% for any reason. +5 ballistics. Whenever a heroic act is used in combat by any character, the officer's next attack will cost 0 AP. Nice. Lore Imperium, willpower. Interesting. Gains +5 fellowship. The character may improve any trained characteristic, even if their archetype are... Okay. During the extra turn, all their non-attacking abilities cost -1 AP. That's kind of wild. Okay, and we do not have a second one selected. Hmm. First round of combat, all 3 areas can be created in 1 turn. In the following rounds, only one of them can be created per turn. All areas can be moved to the corresponding abilities. Cannot overlap. My triple officers party is so fun. Yeah, you just like give infinite fucking extra turns. Alright. Choose one of the combat tactics areas for 1 round. All enemies in that area are forced to reroll successful dodge and parry tests against all attacks. Any enemies that suffer damage are left with less than 20 wounds immediately die. Also, yeah, hi, Matt. For 1 round, all attacks by allies in that area inflict the overwhelmed effect on any enemy that... What is overwhelmed? Eh. You okay, bud? What does this one do? Chooses one of the combat for 1 round. Allies in that area gain 3% armor. Cannot be overpenetrated. Gain immunity to the prone effect and gain 0. Grand strategist int bonus plus fellowship bonus over 4. Deflection against area attacks. Additionally, they do not suffer injuries for receipt. Wait, what the fuck? Int plus fellowship. Wait, what the hell? How's that 0? That's 7 plus 3. That should be a 2. That should be a 2, not a 0. You missed the Edgelord torture. Oh, Jesus. Yeah. Choose one of the combat tactics for 1 round. All allies within the range of 10 cells aids the ability to move to that area. Wait. Choose one of the combat tactic areas for 1 round. The targeted area's bonuses are doubled. All other tactical areas are discharged and cannot be used this turn, but can be designated again next round. All right, so what is the bonus that we get in these? 5 plus 2 times. So 5 plus 6. Bonus to armor. All enemies suffer So we have an 11% bonus to armor, and they suffer a minus 11%, or they take 11% more damage. All right. What about backline? 11% cover efficiency and dodge. And 24% dodge reduction. Well, the rear. So that's 11% damage with ranged attacks and gain 11% bonus over penetration. And 5 plus 7, so 12% critical hit chance. It's pretty good. Hello, Philemon. How are you today? I think we could just do the kill zone. I think that's fine. I found you. I will not identify myself. I am within my own... Oh, shit. I forgot to plug my fucking phone in. I just got a notification on my phone saying, "Hey, your phone's at 10%. It is full on dying." Okay. Okay, so let's take a look at this. So 8% area parry and dodge if there are more enemies. 8% damage if there are more allies. What is this scale off of? Okay. Enemies lowest priority targets for 1 round. That's actually really nice. Using a stratagem on a combat tactics area. Wait, what? Oh, it's just any of the 3. Okay. Grants all allies in the area +3 deflection against the next melee hit they suffer. In the same combat tactics, gain +4 perception and agility. Increased by 5% if the area was not moved for 2 rounds. Areas affected by stratagem. All allies in that area gain +1 MP for the following turn, stacks with itself. I think this is just good, right? Okay, let's take a look at what she has, right? So first off, let's take a look at her inventory. She has this cloak, plus 10% to dodge. All right, so let's take a look at what we can give her. All right. She does actually have a pretty decent coercion. And she's actually got the best coercion out of everybody in the party. that could be interesting. Plus 15 to lore Imperium. Awareness? Nope. Plus 10% parry reduction and 5% armor penetration for melee attacks. Ugh, gross. Alright, if I'm going to be replacing Pascal, does he have anything... Oh, yeah. What kind of armor can she wear? Up to medium. Okay. That's if it's more than 40. So we don't actually get that because we are at 40. So I need to get her agility up one more to be able to actually get that bonus. Let's take a look at her pistols. Toxin. Shuriken pistol. Interesting. 6 to 10. Hmm. Lamenting on Kingler's movesets right now. Nice. What do you mean? His moveset's so good. Do we just keep the pistols that she has? Here. Yeah, she is the pistol wielder companion. They need gloves and an amulet. The armor pen is... It's just lower rate of fire. The helmets in this game are so ugly. To be fair, the helmets in the early game of Wrath and Kingmaker also were really ugly. I think I want this one instead of shuriken thrower. Reason being, so like if we look at this one, rate of fire is the same. It does do more damage, but the armor penetration is 20% less, and the dodge reduction, there isn't one, right? Later on, Wrath in particular got some decent looking helmets. Yeah, like I don't know what the helmets in this game are gonna end up looking like. And the fact that that splinter pistol has fucking 6 toxin damage added onto it is just really fucking nice. Okay. Hype. Wait, what is her, she's iconoclast. Entirely iconoclast. Okay. That makes sense for her. Yeah, that's fine. Also fine to not have. That's also fine to not have. Okay, so we could do this, right? It gives her a parry chance if she ever does get attacked. What's your boots? Deals the damage to an enemy, 25% chance to gain 2 MP. That's actually better for her than it is for him because she has so many shots. Right? 3, 6. I just don't like his fucking amulet. And I think that's what we do for now. And then I think that's okay. Cool. Yeah, there we go. We haven't talked to her yet. All right, I'm gonna get up. I'm gonna move around. If you've probably noticed that the EPs are starting to get in. I am gonna do that. I'm gonna go to the break screen, get up, move around, refill my drink, and then we will be back in just a moment. I'll see you in a sec. All right, I'm back. I'm back. Let's take a look at our quest real quick. Secrets of the Cult. Smaller casting list. Yeah. We gotta do that, which we're about to. Hello, Philemon. Thank you. Deal with the rest of shipments from Kiava Gamma. Restore shipments from Janus. Restore operation of the administrative apparatus on Dargonus. So I feel like Dargonus is probably the least, like, that's probably the lowest priority, right? We have an active rebellion. So I think where we go next is probably Kiava Gamma. I think this is where we go next. And then from there we go to Janus. And then from there we go to Dargonus. I think that's probably the best route. Yeah, we gotta wait for this. Right? We gotta wait for the situation to resolve itself. Yeah, we will deal with this once we that's just gonna happen as we continue, right? About to scout the planet, the message to void. Okay, yeah. Okay. Anyway, we gotta talk to this lady. She now looks very different.
Thank you again for helping me with the cargo, Sherin. I am sure the Ashmags who squirreled away my goods won't give up so easily, and I'll hear more about their scheming yet. Let's strike a deal, Sherin. I will watch your back if you do me a favor and watch mine. Well, enough jokes. Is there something you wanted?
Get off my ship. Was there some business you wanted to discuss?
Sherin, I did manage to spark your interest.
Well, I am a rogue trader.
My words are meant for your ears alone.
Hell yeah. I like her accent. And of course, as soon as I get to... I hate that they don't have voice lines for these. It's like, man, they have some... That's one thing that Owlcat, I think Owlcat is incredibly good at picking incredibly skilled voice actors and then underutilizing them. Like, I want to hear this woman speak. I want to hear her speak. The voice actress is really good. Literally just said that I really like the accent. It's like I want to hear. I want to listen to this. I want to hear this. And like whenever we were talking to what's her face, Cabela. Like the, what do you mean I do not have a public live stream on YouTube? What the fuck? Caffeinated. God damn it. Speaking of being caffeinated, I actually need to caffeinate my drink because I do not have any gamer subs in there right now. This must be rectified. Shireen, the Exalted One himself brought us together the day you crossed Vladame's threshold. He led us to the cargo and gave his blessing for its return. Do you know what people in my world say when such a thing happens? All right, there we go. Chat is back. What's gained is to be shared with your neighbor. I don't have any neighbors. Hello. I'm sharing what I gained with you. Please accept these humble gifts in honor of our wildly successful, though suddenly struck, friendship. Hello. What did we get? What is this? What is this? A sniper rifle. Whoa. Can only perform dead-eye shot attacks with this weapon. Whenever they kill an enemy with a critical hit using this weapon, they gain an additional attack this turn. Ah. The fact that it requires you to use Deadeye Shot. I wonder if the gift is tailor-made for your class. Maybe. What about this one? Cleaves area attacks into increased area of effect. Holy shit, that cleave! Oh, requires Drakari weapon proficiency, so I'm gonna have to take that at some point. Oh, I can't use it. Okay, so it's always the same gifts? Okay. So these are both going to require a feat for whoever I get. Got the same ones on my run. What were you running, Matt? What was your main character class? I mean, it's only one feat to gain access to, like, these are incredibly good weapons. Like 35 armor pen, 16 to 25 damage. That cleave range. Officer Psyker. Okay. So yeah, we were. Interesting. Okay. Still, this one I'm a little bit more iffy on, simply because, like, requiring Deadeye Shot kind of sucks because of the 2 AP cost, right? And it's always going to be a 2 AP cost. So even if I get the critical hit, they gain an additional attack this round, it's going to also cost 2 AP. So that's all of my AP basically. I accept it with gratitude. You'd appreciate the Xenos mastery of their craft. Jay beams at you, curling a lock of black hair around an augmented finger. So, the matter I wanted to discuss with you is related to my business. You know that I sell Xeno artifacts to interested Imperial subjects and Imperial trinkets to Xenos. Business is going well. My network runs even without my participation. Running an operative, so I would love these. Yeah, like, I'm an operative. That's my character. Terry is an op. He's a sniper. Like, he's literally built to be a sniper, so that first gun is, like, perfect for me. They're like whole field solo, yeah. Single shot with the extra turret officer for the sniper in my party. They clear like whole field. That's actually not a bad point. Just like constantly give Terry extra turns over and over and over and over again. But when it comes to expansion, well, that's where I hit a wall. Rivals envious of my success. Falco especially, I'm certain the theft of the cargo was his doing, but I can never predict what that Ash Mag will do next. And while the Imperium's authority may be fragmented in the expanse, it could crack down on people of my profession at any moment. Go on. If the Rogue Trader put in a good word for me with the servants of the Adeptus Administratum, I could become an official trade representative of the Imperium. Just imagine it. A little scrap of paper will offer me and my agents protection against Ashmag schemes, far better than any refractor field. And even the Inquisition will have to think twice before they mess with me, because I'll be a representative of the law in my own right. And the best part of all of that is this will cost you precisely nothing, Shireen. All you have to do is stop by the Administratum Palace and obtain a certificate from the Master of Seals. My informants tell me the palace is located on Dargonas, your capital world. You see how everything has aligned so wonderfully, and, of course, I will repay in kind. Sounds simple enough. Exalted One, bless you, Shireen. I couldn't find a better business partner in all the expanse. Friendship is a gift from the Exalted One, and we must cherish it. And you will have no complaints about our friendship, Shireen. I may not be a trade representative of the Imperium just yet, but I can still help you with whatever you need. You must have some faction in mind that you would like to establish a relationship. The Severe Drusians, the hot-headed pirates of the Kaz Balika. You merely need to use the right words, like a key for a lock, and people will open their hearts to you, or their wallets. I'll arrange everything. You merely have to ask. Ooh. Nice. Not a problem. And my people did a good word for you in the right circles. Hell yeah. Do you even know who all these factions are? I do, yes. I'll probably wait until you steer your vessel toward Dargonis, the Mercatum Tabula Official. Jesus. It sounds almost as majestic as the Word of Trade. Hooray! Okay, so that's another quest for Dargonis specifically. Is there anybody else that I haven't talked to yet? I've talked to Heinrichs. What is this again? Oh, okay, that's the helmet. Bridge Techma. J. Talk to Abelard. Talk to Cassia. Talk to you. Talk to you. Talk to you. Talk to you. Okay, so I have talked to everybody in the party. Okay, so I don't think that we bring Heinrichs back. I didn't really like him in the party. Even though I kind of like him as a person. And I think we would swap out Pascal for Jay. They both seem to be like somewhat mid-range characters. At least the way that I was building Pascal. And the fact of the matter is Pascal kept running into the issue of by the time it got to be his turn, all of the groups of enemies tended to be dead already. There was only like some remnants around, so I wasn't able to make use of his arc rifle that much. Whereas with her, that's not as necessary, right? And like, oh, the faction vendors through Danrock? Yes. Yeah, I actually did that already today. Towards the beginning of the stream. So when we're talking about, holy shit, 90 on Lore Xenos, which I think that might be the highest that I have. Yeah. Yeah. Lore Imperium is a wildly high number. That is the highest number that we've gotten. I think Terry's awareness is the second highest now. The fucking, she seems to be like a skill monkey character. Like, this is a wild amount of skills to have this high. Gives buffs for faction reps. That is kind of crazy. Like, look at this. 127, 90, 70, 72, 86, 70, 90, 89. There's only 3 that are at the base of 30. Whereas for me, I got like athletics at 30, coercion and commerce at 25, demolition at 30. Like persuasion at 20. Like it's like a crazy amount of fucking stats. Wait. Why is all of her stuff fellowship? That's why they're all so damn high. Like, this requires a fucking minus 30 just to get it back down to 40. Do I have a lore wart person? No, actually. I actually do not have any. I think that 45 might be the highest. Yeah. I do not have a lore wart person. The only person that has it above 40 is Idira. Well, I guess it just kind of sucks, huh? Yeah, look at this. Fellowship, 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 fellowship. So what the hell does she have that puts everything into fellowship? Oh, so she could use those too, huh? Oh, wait. Plus reputation level to all resistance tests and 2 times reputation to lore Imperium. Coercion, persuasion. Interesting. So the high... Oh, shit. Okay. Yep. Yep. Okay, there it is. Specific thing that allows her to use fellowship or intelligence for intelligence-based skills. Which, as her intelligence is just the base, obviously it's going to be fellowship. That is a crazy fucking... Okay. Sure, why not? All right, let's get moving. Huh? Yep, I'm going the wrong way. Let us get moving. Already explored. Footfall. Okay. Lord Captain, we are once more within reach of the Von Valancius Protectorate. Our of utmost urgency is restoring communication with your planets and bestowing the wisdom of your decrees upon their stewards, developing colonies, claiming new territories, and establishing trade links. This is now your privilege and burden. Opening the map of the Crotus Expanse. Did I go here? Oh, okay, yeah, I did. Station's airlocks have been sealed from the inside of the Vox recording estate. Oh, yeah, that's right. We already did this. No resources. Okay, I thought that there was resources on this one. Void ship management. Map of the Coronis Expanse. Standard scanning could not reveal a route to the selected system, but you could still get there by spending points of Navigator's Insight to plot a guaranteed direct path. Click left mouse button on the system. So wait. Wait, huh? Oh, okay. I was like trying to click and drag with the mouse. Soto's Tomb, Avorius, Palatium Stellos, to the Imperial. Wait, what? Interesting. Cradle Kafari, Granitos, Macron, Septum. So that's Janos. That's Dargonis. Yeah, okay. This is such a wild fucking thing, right? Deadly? Wait, why is that deadly? Deadly. Go to the giant fish? Yeah. Eh. Eh. Ah, okay. Is that supposed to be space? Basically, yeah. With all the different, like, wild shit that's in space in the thing. We'll do it. We'll reduce it by 2. So, okay, how do I get these? Acquired by exploring the Corona. Subleads are participating in non-combat space events. Navigator of the flagship uses it to build new warp routes, as well as to make them more stable and safe as much as it is possible. So we're going to do this. We're going to make it unsafe, outside of, not dangerous. Let's do this. Ship Cedar offers a requested audience with you. They're humbly awaiting you on the bridge. Oh my god. But I don't want to talk anymore. I want to do things. The fuck y'all want? Our captain, if I may request your attention for a moment, I must report a series of highly dangerous violations that may have taken place, or that have taken place, in the fuel compartment. The Master at Arms is ignoring my demands, and I am thus forced to appeal directly to you. The Fuelers have founded a sect of some kind. This group practices fire worship of the Emperor, and has been burning promethium near the fuel lines. I beg you to stop this madness before we all go up in flames. I should point out that there have been no incidents in the fuel compartment so far, and that the beliefs of the sect do not affect the obedience of the workers or their efficiency in any way. All assemblies are conducted strictly after hours with the permission of their superiors. However, if you find their practices unacceptable, you'll put a stop to them immediately. What do you fucking mean? This bitch retarded. What the fuck do you mean? No, it's fine that they're burning things right next to the fuel lines. You fucking moron. Beyond my purview, let Confessor Aldebar be the judge. The Emperor protects your lordship. I can assure you that there is no heresy festering in the fuel compartment. The sect of the Fire Prophecies has been tested for purity and found to be in accordance with the creed. Their leader, who calls himself the Oracle of Fire, is devout and submissive to his servants. They do not twist the sacred teachings, and as for their chosen forms of worship, these are neither rare nor remarkable. Many such minor cults exist in the Imperium, with the full approval of the ecclesiarchy. To make prophecies? At least he and his flock believe that the Emperor reveals glimpses of the possible future to him in the sacred flame. Occasionally, his visions do come true, so his followers convince themselves. Or so his followers convince themselves. We do not know whether the grace of the God Emperor truly lies upon him, or if he is merely a charlatan, or perhaps a blissful lunatic, or blah blah blah. A wicked rogue who possesses psychic power not tempered by his will. Lord Captain, as choir master of the Astropathic Choir, I must be watchful of any threats to the ship's safety originating from the Immaterium. I have heard rumors about this oracle, and so I have sent my adepts to see him. They assert that the man is a psyker. This man who speaks to the warp is a danger to himself and the entire vessel. Both law and common sense dictate that he should be thrown into a holding cell, tranquilized, and handed over to the Inquisition to be sent to Holy Terra. Alternatively, you may also dispose of him in some other way. They're burning my Prometheum? The amount of residue accumulated in the drainage tanks was so laughably small that it was not even worth recording. If there were any real misappropriation of the ship's resources happening there, I would have already punished those involved, Lord Captain. We stand ready to carry out any order. It's the red lady people from the Game of Thrones. Well, those people were fucking stupid and actually useless at the end. So, the airlock. I'm not throwing about the airlock. Fur just was fucking Ricardo just wants me to fucking kill people. Yes, Lord Captain, by tomorrow the cult will be forgotten, never to be mentioned again. Alright. We did it. Yeah, that's Cassia. Is it? Lord Captain, according to telemetry, we're in the system of Kiava Gamma, the main industrial world of the Von Valancius dynasty. However, our astropaths report that attempts to contact Governor Gaprak have been unsuccessful. But wait, Lord Captain, a new report. Kiava Gamma is sending a request to exchange data. Should we accept it? Why with our own request? As you command, Lord Captain. Lord Captain reporting the manufacturer is ignoring all our requests and continues to send us its own. The longer we do not accept their messages, the stronger and more persistent the incoming signals become. I've never seen anything like. Lord Captain, interference detected in the compartment's Vox system. Looks like the bridge is cut off from the rest of the void ship. Yeah, that's what I expected. All right. The void ship's bridge. Sounds of working cogitators and officers' footsteps. Yeah, that's probably what I would have done otherwise. If I couldn't do this route, that's what I probably would have done. The everyday scene is interrupted by an ear-splitting beeping sound, followed by lumens going out. In the dim glow of candles and emergency lights, one of the officers in frame cries out. Another falls to her knees, clutching her head. Over the beeping of voxes, shouts can only be heard. What's going on? The doors are locked. We've lost contact with all compartments. A team of decryption experts gets to work. Data tethers. One of the Vox clerics leans over the console and others writing something on a piece of parchment, but then she bursts into maniacal laughter and stabs herself in the eye with a steel quill. Fucking Christ. Another scream attack priest who is mid-prayer tears himself to pieces with his own mechadendrites. More and more lunatics are mutilating themselves and lunging at others. Portion depict recording damaged. After contact with unknown object, an enforcer shoves a rabid servitor away from Lord Captain as he... I mean, this one is just guaranteed. The image on the pic is fuzzy, nothing but glimpses of people shouting racket the Lord Captain's orders. Within minutes, the crazed crew members are either dead or bound and unconscious. The officers clustered around Lord Captain are barely breathing, but unharmed. What? They're barely breathing, but unharmed. I feel like if you're barely breathing, you are quite harmed, actually. What do you mean? I feel like this should be are breathing heavily, but unharmed. Like, I feel like that's what they were trying to go for. Like, they're out of breath. Like, oh yeah, the officers clustered around the Lord Captain are out of breath, but unharmed. This is a translation issue. That's what this is. Sounds like a skill issue. Yeah, right? Like, this is supposed to be out of breath, but unharmed. 100%. Scrap code. The voice belongs to the on-deck engine seer who has turned to the Lord Captain from a station. We have been attacked with scrap code, a tech heresy designed to corrupt machines. The transmission received from the planet was infected with this taint, and now it is now running through the ship's veins. Omnisire preserve us. The Voidborn officer appears before the Lord Captain once more. I like the art on the right. Yeah, it's a good fucking bit. Creepy as fuck. Whatever it is that's attacking us, we have a backup procedure that can circumvent the Vox barrier. In the atrium leading to the bridge, there's a terminal for an isolated system that might still be unaffected. A loud pop, pipe over the officers' heads, burst, and a blast of hot air flings the Voidborn away from Lord Captain, his body slamming straight through the cogitator panel. The picked frame spins uncontrollably. The servo skull was jolted by the gust. The picked recorder fogs over, the Vox picking up the crackling of electricity and a death cry. Gas on the bridge! A junior attendant shouts and instantly doubles over, inhaling the poison air. The rogue trader. Like David Jones, the legal name. I'm actually surprised that this is not 100%. Fuck off. Really? This is Pokemon all over again. 50% chance, guaranteed failure. Poison to disoriented, the people could barely, or 85%, like 50% chance to fail is obviously a guaranteed failure. Poison to disoriented, the people could barely stand and they are slow to respond to the order. The servo skull, shut up. Several deep breaths, trying to flush his lungs with the air. Then he straightens, smooths his uniforms, and heads towards the goal known only to him. The servo skull follows. Atrium is a David Cornelius Jones, right? The atrium is in a state of panic. Silhouettes skitter about in the dark hall, illuminated only by the flickering of emergency lumens. Curt orders and someone's feverish words of prayer can be heard. Having lost all communication, the beheaded ship is writhing in agony. It takes a while for the Lord Captain to find the cogitator mentioned by the fallen officer. The panel of the isolated terminal is riddled with cracks and bloodstains, and on the floor by the terminal, a tech priest is lying in a heap with his head smashed and technical liquids mixed with blood oozing out of his ports. Lord Captain decides to take his chances, restoring the terminal. I'm gonna make him a ship captain in D&D? Hell yeah. The rogue trader rips the power key off the tech priest mechadendrite and opens the cover in the terminal. Sparks fly into his face, but he's confident in his manipulation of the tangled wires and clanging levers. After replacing the cover and ensuring the system is restored, Lord Captain brings up the required data on the screens. Maintenance Bay is sending out hundreds of desperate distress calls that have gone unanswered up to now. When the machines went out of control and started turning people insane, others, driven by some hateful and paranoid logic, started butchering the servants of the Adeptus Mechanicus. The tech priests have sustained heavy losses, but the remains of the cult are still holding the line. Out of everything that's happening on the ship, the situation in the maintenance bay is the direst. Lord Captain knows where help is needed most. As to the maintenance bay himself. Arrives not a moment too soon. The crew, frightened out of their wits, have already quartered the priests and the Omnissiah and are about to execute them. The Lord Captain stands between the angry mod and the tech priest, his sheer presence already giving the crowd pause. Harshly cutting off any objections from the crew, the rogue trader orders the officers he gathered on the way here to escort the mutineers out and set up a guard post outside the bay, where the tech priests begin to offer desperate prayers to the crippled machine spirits. The walk to the bridge was uneventful. The crisis has passed. Although wounded and crippled, the ship nevertheless is returning to its normal operation. Life on the bridge is as bustling as ever, even though the people are surrounded by destruction. Senior officers have the situation under control, and the people have been organized. The emergency crew have already finished repairing the pipes, the technomats are setting up cogitators and consoles, and the healers are bagging up what few corpses there are and examining the wounded. By the comm station, the rogue trader runs into the Voxmaster. Praise the Emperor, you're in one piece, Lord Captain. The situation on board is satisfactory. I was just in the middle of setting up comm channels. Soon all the Voxcasters will be fully operational. Another man appears in the pick frame, a junior officer, completely out of breath, carrying a heap of scrolls. The Voxmaster nods at him. Here you are. Here are the reports, Lord Captain. If you find yourself able to return to your station, I can immediately give you a rundown on the state of affairs on the ship. End of picked recording. Lord Captain, the situation has been brought under control, more or less. I'll take some time to eliminate the consequences of the attack completely, but the vessel is capable of motion. We may even be able to conduct a warp jump if you feel we should leave the system. Allow me to bring you up to date. Fortunately, the bridge suffered only minor losses. The reports mention only a few casualties that have already been replaced. You have a gamma went silent after transmitting the harmful signal. I'll refrain from sending inquiries to the industrial world to avoid a second attack. I'm afraid we have exhausted our options for remote analysis. More information can only be obtained by closing the distance or even sending an away party to the planet's surface. The time has come to remind you about our agreement, Terry. I must be present in your entourage during your expedition to Kiava Gamma. I'm counting on your cooperation. Fuck. I didn't want to actually bring him with us. Damn it. The crew is awaiting further instructions, Lord Captain. Like 100 people die, yeah. Actually, let's go here first. No resources? I could have fucking... What the hell? The dwarf planet is marked on the Von Valancia's Protectorate charts as Atla. It serves as a backup source of water for the habitable worlds of neighboring systems. Due to the abundance of bacteria proliferating in the Atla hydrosphere, the extraction of ice was stopped half a century ago. But much to your officer's surprise, the augurs detected an unidentified mining rig deep underground. Presumably, the excavation is aimed at extracting clay minerals near the planet's core, enriched with iron and other metals. The extractive turns out to be Incendia Corda's latest investment, whose demesne is located just within a few jumps of the Craddock system. While this world is of little value to the Von Valancius dynasty, your officers see this gesture as an attempt to test the boundaries of the newly minted rogue trader's leniency. Yeah, we're going to keep this shit for ourselves. Mayos Pascal notes the unusual composition of Atlas's core. Subsequent development will allow the extraction of rare refractory metals. Heating is advised. The rogue trader decides to keep the extractium for himself. Your people easily assume control as the frightened workers and the token security crew do not even attempt to resist. The extractium's machines are restarted shortly after, and the emasculators filled with precious ore are delivered to the flagship's cargo hold. Hell yeah. Hooray, we did it. So, wait, was there actually a thing here, or... How's there anyone left alive in the ship? Don't ask. So, you know, so you just stole their ship? No. They were... This is my territory. They came into my territory and were stealing my stuff, so I'm just taking it back. Yeah, this was a rival rogue trader that was invading my territory to test whether or not they could get away with it. And I will not allow others to invade my territory.
Hold fast. Our faith will be tested.
Yeah, I am not of the opinion that, I am not of the opinion that borders are unimportant to a nation. Hi, buddy. All right. Oh shit, if I had replaced her with... Ah, damn. Rude. Okay. All right, so first off, we're just gonna blast your bitch ass. What do you mean 80%? If I come around here... No way! Oh, nice. Okay.
Helmsman, navigate us to the designated coordinates.
Wait, can I not self-destruct right now? How does... Oh, there we go. Alright. I'm glad that I'm keeping these guys, like, basically out of the fight until I deal with these guys that are closer. Even though, I mean, I guess because this is a destroyer, these guys are, like, the more dangerous people that we got to deal with. So the fact that... get fucked. You missed. You missed again. Okay, so... Oh, come on! Oh wait, let's I probably shouldn't have done that. That was actually a stupid idea. I should have set these over here. If I go here, will I be able to reach him? No! God damn it! Okay, so I wonder if... Okay, so they sacked their missiles to kill mine. That's fine. Received no damage. Wait, what? What did I just get? Oh, apparently I didn't get any damage to the hull. Hell yeah. Because if I'm right here, they could just explode, right?
We have a destination to reach.
Oh shit, they could still... Oh fuck. During acceleration phase? What does that even mean? Okay. Oh, they're stupid. Okay, so first off, we're gonna do this. Wait, what? What do you mean? It's literally right there. It's literally right there. Bullshit. Bullshit shenanigans. I am, like, very much spreading out the fucking damage that I'm doing, and I'm not a fan of that. No way. Well, I could kill this one with a 56% chance. If I do this, I can hit this guy with an 80% chance. Ah, okay, I see. Yeah, you could try. These guys might get close, actually. But I can just go this way, and then these guys are basically wasted. They fucking just launch more fucking torpedoes, you bastards. Oh, and these guys have shields up again. Son of a bitch! Oh, that delays their actual turn. Fuck, I didn't realize. Oh, that used all of my fucking... Oh, no. And now there are missiles inside of me. This is not good. I have made error. Well, shit. Didn't do shit.
We're helpless under their fire. Do something.
What the fuck are you talking about? Still miss some shot at point blank. Yeah! Get fucked, you useless ass missiles. Didn't do shit. Didn't do a goddamn thing. I do hate that I'm about to fucking... So he's here. So wait. We got you. Ah, over here. Okay. Okay, so I think I want to go here. Because I can't quite reach here, right? Yeah, I can't quite get to this guy, which sucks a lot. Ran to death. Yeah, but like the thing is, basically most of that went into the shields that were almost at full. Oh, wait. All right, so we're gonna do this. Oh, okay. I did not realize. What? I love this. Because they are directly in the path of my missiles. I am getting pretty low on health, though. Ooh. Okay, wait. Beautiful. Okay. And then we do this, and then we do this. Hell yeah! Oh, I also forgot. I got new things for the ship and completely forgot about them. I get to pick two of them. I like the extra range because there were multiple times where I was like one or two away. What does this do? Cause an enemy ship to immediately turn 45 or 90 degrees depending on the ship's maneuverability. If the enemy ship has suffered hull damage, this turn additionally deals damage equal to from 15 to 20% of the ship's missing hull for a 45-degree turn and deals that damage twice for a 90-degree turn. Oh. I like that a lot. Do you know how to repair your ship? Yeah. I saw that. I checked it at one point. Unlimited range? Oh shit. Where was it? Provide 70% for each sector. This amount is doubled against enemy blast attacks. Okay. I mean, obviously, it's just objectively better, right? Now the question is, yeah, probably, right? Oh, I don't have enough scrap for that. Alarm jump scare. Yeah, it is about that time. All right. We're going to be right here. And we're going to save. So, next time, we will be actually entering Kiavagama. It is time for me to go. So, first off, next week, schedule for next week. Tuesday, we're going to be doing the Golduck solo run. We are down to the final 4 Pokemon that we need to run. We have Golduck next Tuesday. The week after, we have Ammonite. The week after that, we have Muck. And the week after that, we have Ditto. And the week after that, we have Ditto. And the week after that, we have Ditto. Not looking forward to that one. But yeah, so that is the next few weeks, actually, of Pokemon on Tuesdays. Wednesday next week, we're going to be continuing Devil May Cry 3. We just barely managed to finish the first Virgil fight after blowing through all of our items except for the one holy water that we have. All of our healing items are gone. Our extra life is gone now, but we did beat Virgil first try. Kind of. So that is going to be next Wednesday. We're going to be continuing through that game. Next Thursday, as always, I will be off. And then next Friday and Saturday, we will be back here doing more Rogue Trader. If you are over on the YouTube side of things and you haven't done so already, I would very much appreciate if you would hit that subscribe button, hit that like button. Both of those help out the channel quite a bit. If you are over on the Kick side and you haven't done so, I would appreciate if you'd hit that follow button. And if you're feeling generous, you'd hit that subscribe button. Also, if you're feeling generous over on the YouTube side, there are links to my Patreon and my Throne down in the description. Most of the Throne is just like Lego stuff, and I think also a Stream Deck. Not a Steam Deck, a Stream Deck. So if you want to help me out financially, you could go down there, send me a couple bucks a month. It would be much appreciated. If not, that is also perfectly fine and understandable. But yeah, I'm gonna go. Thank you everybody for hanging out and watching. I appreciate y'all as always. And as always, I hope you all enjoyed the stream. I hope you all have a good evening, and I hope to see you next time. Bye-bye.